Hello and welcome to Real in News, your stop for movie news, entertainment, and much more. I am your host, John Ramos, and I'm super excited today because today we're going to be talking about a lot of things that happen right now, today, Monday, and we're excited to give you all the details in regards to all these news. Some of them are great, some of them are just opinions of actors or actresses, but as well, there's casting members that have been casted in different films. So let's go ahead and get into the news. And if you have not yet followed Real In Films, either in YouTube or on Instagram, go ahead and follow us in all of our social media as Real In News, and you can find us as well. We do have our website that we post a couple of news there as well. It's Real In News, Real In Films, my bad, .com. So if you guys have not yet followed us, go ahead and follow us. The link as well is on our description. So let's go ahead and head into the news. Super excited of some of these. Some of them I'm not that excited. So let's go ahead. This is on our Instagram. So in our Instagram, we post news every day that you guys can be up to date with news, trailers, and much more. So we have here that Phoebe Waller Bridges live action Tomb Raider series will likely begin filming early next year. So that means that around 2025, the production will start. The thing is that she did left a comment in probably in a interview that is that we've got to find our Lara Croft so that the global wide search will start sooner rather than later. I totally, totally disagree with Phoebe. We already have our Lara Croft. I think that in regards to this series, I understand that you want to bring probably somebody, a new actress onto the table, but I think that they did bad to Alicia Vikanders. I think that they didn't give her the chance that she actually needed because Alicia Vikanders as Lara Croft was phenomenal. The only thing that I would say that this film from Alicia Vikanders didn't work was the fact that they made it realistic at the end. Being the fact that Tomb Raider is such kind of a sci-fi adventure series, then you adding realistic things to the mix, it takes away what Lara Croft or Tomb Raider is. So I do hope that Phoebe does find her Lara Croft, but I really, really hope that if they don't find nobody to be able to bring Alicia Vikanders once again, it all depends. Probably she wouldn't like to go back to make a series or wouldn't want to go back to being Lara Croft, but I really do hope that they find their Lara Croft, and if not, I don't know. So I hope that they do find her, but I still say that we already have our Lara Croft, that it's Alicia Vikanders. Okay. Another next step of the news is that in a interview, Micah Monroe tells us a little bit of It Follows sequel that will begin the start of 2025. And then it says, she did said in this interview, I think this second one is going to be really special. Sadly, we don't have the interview. The interview is from Discussing Films. If you guys want to follow them, they are the ones that have the interview that she gives a little bit details, and that's what she talks about how working with the director of the first installment of It Follows was a great experience, and she is crazy for the world to see the second one, and as well for this production to begin. In this case, that means that there is already a script. That means that she already read it, and I'm super excited because this film, when it came out, it was such a surprise. It Follows, if you have not yet been able to see it, It Follows is a great film. It follows like this type of entity that haunts you in a very, very strange manner. So it for every sexual encounter that you have, right? Let's say that you're the one that has like the supernatural entity. Whenever you have a sexual encounter with somebody, that next person gets the like the supernatural being. From there, if you don't if you don't like pass it on in a certain time frame, the being will like will like kill you or something like that. So It Follows was released on 2014. The director will be of the second one, David Robert Mitchell. And Micah Monroe did will reprise her role as Jay White. Height. So if you guys are excited, if you have not yet seen It Follows, I think It Follows is available right now, at least here for what I see. It's available on Prime to rent. I imagine that you can download it as well or buy it. If it's available somewhere to be streaming, I don't know. But if you guys have not yet seen it, give it a try. Is a must watch. I am not going to lie. It is a must watch. Our next piece of news is that Steven Spielberg had like kind of a comment in regards to a kissing scene on the film Twisters. There's the one that is already available right now in theaters. If you guys want to check it out here in Puerto Rico, Caribbean Cinemas, go ahead and check it out. And as well, they did break the box office this weekend in 80.5 million in domestic in the box office. So it's amazing run for a disaster film. I think that this is the first time that a disaster film has made great in the box office, and as well is a renowned hit for this summer. And Steven Spielberg gave a note to remove the kiss scene from Twisters. Why? He says that I think it's a Spielberg's note, wasn't it? I think it stops the film feeling too cliche, actually, says Daisy Edgar Jones. So apparently he did not, left the note. Probably he saw seen the uh, pre-cut, one of the cuts of, because so there's sometimes directors have a couple of cuts and they show them around and then they start like giving out like questionnaires to see if they liked it or not. And probably Steven Spielberg saw one of the cuts and he was like, he gave a note and says like, you should eliminate this scene because it will become a little bit too cliche. I haven't seen the film. I really want to see it because Twister is one of the films that I got to see in theaters when I was I think a teenager. I don't remember what year Twister, the first Twister came out, but I think I was a teenager still or a young one. Twist. 1996. So yeah, I was 6 years old for the first film, and I did got to see this one in theaters. I really enjoyed it. I remember that I wouldn't forget about the cow. That is something that I wouldn't forget. I think that I usually when I would see like twisters or hurricanes happen, I was like, "Mom, there's the cow." But seeing the fact that Steven Spielberg probably just wanted to like make better for the film, probably that's why he left the note in regards to make the film better, not make it feel so cliche. So let's go ahead. Here is another piece of news. So Glenn Powell, guys. Glenn Powell has been a hit wonder. He's been in literally everything. Like this year, guys, Glenn Powell has been in Hitman. I got to see Hitman. I will do my review in Hitman. Great film. Like, it was so enjoyable. He was in Hitman. He voiced a character in Rick and Morty. He was in the film Anyone But You. And these are all from last year, 2023. And then right now he started it with Twister. And he has upcoming projects. And one of them is The Running Man. And he says something because if you guys know, in one of our pieces of news is that he did decide to go back to school, like that he can finish studying his Spanish and early American history degree. And he just said the following. He says that he's going to begin filming Edgar Wright's Running Man remake this fall while studying. He says that the world Edgar developed on this thing is just outrageous. I'm so fired up about it. Me, myself, I am against remakes. I am a person that does not like remakes, not because I think they cannot work. The thing is that it's these type of films, these type of films like The Running Man, Back to the Future, let's say Aliens as well. All these films, RoboCop, all these films came in an era where Hollywood took risk with these films that they were like probably not going to make money. And some of these films did make a lot of money in those times. Obviously, not only in box office, but they did good in VHSs. That was something that back in the day was a number as well. How well did they do while in the VHS market. Now, why am I against remakes? Because instead of remaking The Running Man, instead of remaking Back to the Future, instead of remaking more films, not remaking because they didn't remake Alien, but they keep bringing the franchise back, as well as Predator, as well as the Fast and the Furious franchise, as well as Jurassic Park. I think it's time for Hollywood, or Hollywood director, not directors, but producers, to start taking risk on some other scripts. Probably there is a golden nugget somewhere, because sometimes that script that you might think that's not going to make money, it might be the next franchise. It might be a new franchise to bring in new actors, new stars to the scene. It's just me, just saying, But still, I'm super excited that Glenn Powell is part of the Running Man remake. I'm super excited about it. I really did like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man film. It's super fun, super out of the box, and can't wait. I can't wait. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think about the Running Man remake? And as well, do you like that it's going to be Glenn Powell? Okay. The other thing that happened is, this is something that I can add a little bit much more. So, we all know the superhero film franchise fatigue has happened, and it has been for a couple of years. People are tired of superhero films. Not only that, being the fact that we do have superhero series now as well. We do have Invincible, we do have The Boys, Gen V, in between others, because actually in Max we have Kite Man as well, having its first season. But being the fact that we are having a superhero fatigue, we have so much content being released of superheroes that people sometimes do not watch them. And going ahead, moving to not watching them, they are either canceled or they go ahead and continue making seasons because there's probably good numbers out there for the streaming platforms. But what if we can say that Kevin Feige as well said something in regards to this superhero fatigue? And as well, we're not him. Even the Russo brothers, that I wish that I would have saved that clipping of their comments in regards to Wolverine and Deadpool, we would add it on this as well. So Kevin Feige argues that the superhero fatigue is more. The feeling of having to do homework is a fatigue. That's one of his comments. He says the following as well. These are all individual stories meant to be enjoyed as a singular entity. The connectivity is a bonus and something that a lot of people like. It is true. He has a point. The whole point that we do have, like the MCU, all these phases, and they interconnect, is something that they made it because people like it. It's not the fact that they need it. The fact that as well DC tried to do the same thing as Marvel and failed due to that the studio got on top of every decision that Zack Snyder wanted to make for his Justice League and other films in the mix. That's something that happens. And again, they don't have to be connected. We can make films that are just like, let's say, a Aquaman franchise, a Superman franchise, a Spider-Man franchise, or a Iron Man franchise. Even though we do have them, we have a couple of films for each of our favorite superheroes, in exception of the Hulk. The Hulk has a lot of films, but not a film franchise. So you can say, oh, we can watch Hulk 1, 2, and 3 in one night. But no, we don't have that. The thing is that some of these films, all of these superheroes can have their own standalone stories, and they don't need to be connected to, like, oh, the Avengers, or the Justice League. They can be their own stories, because in comic books that actually happens. You do have a whole story that is only about Iron Man, and you have a whole story that's only about Wonder Woman, and so on and so forward. So making them connect is just a bonus for us, the fans, or for us, the people that like seeing other of our favorite superheroes in the same big screen. Like, for instance, myself, when I saw Matt Murdock in the big screen in Spider-Man, I was super extremely happy. Daredevil in the MCU, Daredevil in the big screen, yes, even though we did have it with the Ben Affleck film, but you guys know what I mean. He is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I do hope that they do that with the Punisher as well. Now, keeping the fact that we're still in the topic of Marvel, there's one thing that is really interesting. So the Russo brothers, I they got to see Deadpool and Wolverine. And like I mentioned, so the Russo brothers, we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. And then they mentioned that in the scale from 1 to 10, how will this film affect the MCU? They did compare it like Infinity War and Endgame were like a 9 and a 10, and Deadpool versus Wolverine, my bad. And then Deadpool and Wolverine is going to affect an 8 out of 10 out of for the MCU. What does this mean? This means that Deadpool and Wolverine may be that pinnacle moment where we will see probably more of these characters that we haven't seen in a long time. Like for instance, the X-Men. And actually, what would be the future for Wolverine with Hugh Jackman? Will Hugh Jackman continue reprising his role as Wolverine? Or is in this film, in this upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine film, will go ahead and just push the torch to someone else to be Wolverine? Even though that this film is going to be coming out this week. So anything can happen. A lot of reactions still not available because usually Disney doesn't like reactions to come out too early. But let's see what happens. Tell me in the comments below what you guys think about the Russo brothers talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. And as well, are you excited for this film? Tell me more in the comments below. The next piece of news is something really simple. We're not gonna go ahead and talk about it because not talk about it or abund in it. Something really simple. So Keanu Reeves on how the alt-right have used terms from the Matrix like the red pill for their own political agenda. Keanu Reeves says the following comment. It doesn't sound that great to me, but I don't know. It's art right. So I don't know. I mean, it's like, yeah, I guess people, yeah, take it and run with it. So probably he's just saying that, hey, if they're using it for a political agenda, it's all in regards to what you think at the end of the day. So I don't know. I am not one with using, I like when films or series use like our day to day as a critical or like something to criticize, like something like the series The Boys, but using it as a political agenda, I'm not into it. Okay, so next piece of news being the fact that we have already completed the most recent season of The Boys. So we have a Gen V season 2 announcement or update that is aimed to release in 2025. They have said a comment that we've been in production for several weeks now, probably a month or two. That is amazing because Gen V did got a lot of great ratings on the first season. It is an amazing show. I really do like how this show connects with The Boys, and not only that, it's something that we can touch upon bases with other new characters, even though they do touch bases with characters from The Boys, like for instance Homelander, and between others. But it's really great that we're seeing this season move forward. One of the things that I'm really we do need to mention is that a couple of I think it was last year if I'm not mistaken, one of the actors passed away. His name was, give me one quick second, like that I can find it. I think I did find it. Let me see. Yes, here we go. So um I think it was last year if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, this year in March, Chance Perdomo passed away. Sadly, he couldn't be with us much longer due to, if I'm not mistaken, he passed away due to an accident, if I'm not mistaken. But they did mention that his character will have a great send off on the next upcoming season because they don't want to recast his character. Even though his character had the major plot line on Gen V, but in this case, they do want to send his character with a great send off, like a proper memorial for this upcoming season. So I do hope that in this when this season comes out, we can get to go ahead and see that great send off with Chance's character, because I think for me that it was one of the most fun characters from the group. Besides the main character, I what was the main character's name? Mary Monroe. It was great. So I really do hope that this season gives him a great send off, and condolences to his family. Really. Next piece of news is something very simple. So we do have on our Instagram page the first look at Hunter B-15 in Deadpool and Wolverine. So here's a picture of her. Apparently, she is like the higher up in the TVA. So I'm super excited about this film. I'm really hyped about it. I have seen. I think I did see the final trailer. I didn't want to see it. It shows too much. I'm not gonna say it shows too much in regards to the plot, but I think that it's a great film. This is gonna be a fun film. I'm not gonna. I know that it's going to be. So here's the first look at Hunter B-15. I imagine that she will be a very key character in this series, being the fact that the TVA is involved, and again, being the fact that we have the TVA, we're seeing so many characters moving out in and out from these trailers. Like I am with the Russo brothers. I think that this is going to be a big impact for the MCU. Now, like I mentioned, so we do have some casting mentions of the upcoming What You Did Last Summer film. So they did announce that the following cast members have been added to the roster. So we're going to have Camila Mendes, Madeline Klein, Sarah Pigeon, Tyrion Withers, and Joanna Howard King that will be starring on the I Know What You Did Last Summer film. And as well, reprising their roles will be Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are in talks to reprise their roles. I hope that they do, because really, again, this is something that I mentioned before. It's fun to bring back these big names, because I Know What You Did Last Summer is a film that I will say that it was very important in the horror slasher genre. But I think that in this case, again, we should start producers start looking for new things, not reprising old films or rehashing, bringing them back, remaking them. Start taking a chance with different scripts, and just if you guys think that it's a good script and it's not something that should be sent out in VOD, go ahead and check it out. I gotta say, I've seen a lot of films that make it to film festivals, and they're great. The concept is amazing, and I think that if the director had a couple more budget, I think that they could have made a bigger, broader world in their film. Okay, so this one is very. I hope this is not a funny story, right? Because if you guys know, Todd McFarlane has been in the talks that he will be making a new Spawn film. Every time that he says that it's coming, it's probably not coming as well. He mentions that they're still in talks. So, Chabang Chaboom, we have a name of the film. The film is going to be called King Spawn by Matt Mixon, Malcolm Spellman, and Scott Silver, based on the characters by Todd McFarlane. So, hey, we might have a new Spawn film. It's been long overdue. Actually, it's really odd that Todd McFarlane didn't just go ahead and made an animated series with HBO Max or something. Being the fact that I know that animated is a little bit much more expensive, with my understanding, but I think that he could have worked in making more Spawn things, more an animated series, a web series, or something. Being the fact that streaming services are like right now the kingpins on film and series, so I don't know. Let's see what happens with King Spawn. Let's hope that it does not get canceled. Okay, so here, just like that, we don't get copyrighted. If you go to our Instagram, there's an exclusive first look at the 3 new villains from Batman: Cape Crusader that it's going to be available on August 1st on Prime Video. So we got Tom Kenny playing as Firebug, Toby Stevens as Gentleman Ghost, and McKenna Grace as Natalie Knight / Nocturna. So if you guys want to see this, go to our Instagram. or to our Facebook page, and it will be available for you like that. You guys can go ahead and enjoy that little trailer. Next piece of news is Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser mentions that he has been casted as Dwight D. Eisenhower in a new D-Day movie titled Pressure. The film, also starring Andrew Scott, follow the tense days leading up to the Normandy landings. I'm super excited because Brendan Fraser, being the fact that he was hidden, I would say, for so long, and he came back with a lot of bangers. And I one of the saddened stories is that we will never get to see him in Batgirl. And I did heard how he spoke about like the character. There was like a veteran going through like PTSD and whatnot. So it would have been great. It would have been great to see Brendan Fraser in the DC universe. But hey, we will get to see him in other films. So I'm super excited that he keeps getting more and more roles. He is a star. He's not an up and coming actor. No, no, he is a star. So tell me in the comments below. Tell me, what is your favorite Brendan Fraser movie that you have watched before? And just tell me in the comments below. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, another one that we can't show due to copyright. So we have the first trailer for the director cut of Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. So there's the trailer for the director cut. It will be releasing on August 2nd. So we have a lot of content going your way in the start of August. So if you guys are loving Zack Snyder, I am one that did watch the first film. I haven't watched the second one. And I just, I did like with one of my colleagues said, let's just wait until the cuts come out and we'll see if it's more enjoyable than the theatrical. So I'm super excited. I do love Zack Snyder. I loved his zombie film. I was super excited about that film. And yeah, let's see how it goes. If you guys want to see the trailer is available on Instagram and as well on our Facebook page. So check it out. And we have here another first look. Is a first look of a of Teferi's Teferiers or Terrifiers or Terrifier 3. We do have another first or new look or first look of this film as well in our Instagram. If you guys want to check it out, they do mention that the first trailer will be released on Wednesday. So tell me if you guys are excited. I have not yet seen these films. They have been telling me to watch them. I was super excited because one day with my wife, we were at Walmart and they have like this special edition of the first film into VHSs. I was literally going nuts because one of the things that I do love about media is physical media, and not only physical media. I do love when they make like these modern films and bring them back to like old school. That's something that I really do love and enjoy. And now, guys, here's another piece of a first look. We have a first look at Joshua Oppenheimer's The End, starting Tilda Swinton, George McKay, Moses Ingram, and Michael Shannon. They described this film as a post-apocalyptic musical film that follows a wealthy family in an underground bunker after the end of the world, which they directly contributed to. I'm super stoked about it when I read that description. I am a super post-apocalyptic buff. Anything that has to do with like the post-apocalyptic like theme or zombies as well. I am super intrigued about it. I don't know why. It's just having to see in how people think or describe how things would be if certain events happen. Just it picks my brain. And apparently, it is the official selection for TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival 2024. So hey, let's see if we can get into TIFF. I don't know. Let's see if it happens. If it does, I will be choosing this film to be the one that I want to watch. So guys, that is everything that came out today in the movie scene. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Real In News. This will be releasing every day at 6 p.m. It will be going live on our YouTube channel, and then throughout the week we will be separating every one topic in our videos. So we will divide it in on topics that you guys can. If you guys are not interested in looking at everything, we'll have the topic for you. If you guys think that we should do this live, tell me in the comments below if you guys would like to see this live on our YouTube channel, and we will gladly go ahead and go live for you. And if we can get more panelists, I will love to have more panelists with me that we can go ahead and talk about anything and everything movie related. So guys, I really do hope you guys enjoy this content as well. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring that bell like that you guys can get notified whenever we go live or whenever we have a new video out. And I do hope that you guys enjoy this. And don't forget to follow us in all of our social media as Real in Films. We will see you guys in the next one.